This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon, and today I'm going to share a passage with you from a Facebook post that I posted. When was it? Let me have a quick look. September 2017, so 29th September 2017, so about 18 months ago. A few things have changed for me since here. I may update those things as I read through it. I may not, some other things. I'll just read through it as it goes. But basically, the premise of this whole conversation today is around the need of being liked. This is something that, I'm going to use the word, plagued me, that I struggled with for some time. And I'm more than happy to expand on that if you guys have got questions. You know where to find me. Jump into Facebook, search Mood Prep Online, then ask the questions in there, because this is really common stuff, and it was one of the reasons why I shared it. But this is going back some time, so 18 months ago. And this around this idea of the need of being liked is a fallacy. But look, let me read this to you. It goes for a little while, and then whatever time's remaining in the podcast, I've got some of the notes here to speak to. So let's get to it. For a long time, I struggled with wanting to be liked, not necessarily by everyone. For whatever reason, my brain selected a few people at a time whom I really wanted to like me. I either looked up to them, wanted to be liked by them, felt that I loved them, or wanted to be accepted by them. I then awkwardly went about trying to earn their approval, sometimes for years, and fuck me, it hurt. I was placing my self-worth in the hands of another human being. My happiness, love, and self-worth became conditional and reactive. What followed was a never-ending rollercoaster of emotions and actions. One day up, next two down, next three up, next two numb, and so on, and so on. It is one thing to notice this within yourself. It is another thing to consciously go about learning that your happiness is not held in someone else's approval. Let me repeat that. It is another thing to consciously go about learning that your happiness is not held in someone else's approval. That just because someone else doesn't show you that they love you doesn't mean you are not loved or worthy of love. This is something that I never let break me in the past, but of course, only in private. As we all know, men don't show emotion. It is also something I still consciously have to work on today. Now, just to paraphrase there, 18 months ago to now, it's a really different situation. I have completely different lenses on this whole situation. So it is something that I still work through, but I'd work through it on a different level with different eyes. I'm more than happy to expand on that if you guys have questions. Moving on. When we're in a state of wanting or trying to get someone's approval, we move from being our authentic self to a shadow version of our personality. So the sad reality is that even if we did get that person's approval, they aren't even liking us. They are liking an inflamed version of us, an inflated version of us, or a variation of who we are based on who we're trying to survive as a person. Therefore, you still don't get genuine connection and love. It will feel good for a moment, a hit of dopamine maybe, and unfortunately this will teach you to keep doing it, to keep being someone else. In turn, this can teach us that we are not enough or somehow inherently broken. This is so far from the truth. The truth is, like happiness, love is an inside job. You can only love someone up to the level that they love themselves, and you can only treat someone as good as they treat themselves. I'm going to repeat that again. You can only love someone up to the level that they love themselves, and you can only treat someone as good as they treat themselves. So sometimes you simply aren't getting that person's approval because of them, not because of you. So I'm going to stop for a moment and just expand on that. So sometimes you simply aren't getting that person's approval because of them, not because of you. This person struggles with approval in general. Maybe they've got some hang-ups with their parents. And so you're trying to get these approval from them, but they're struggling to give it to you because they're struggling to get it and give it to themselves. And so there's just this continual, conditional approval in this circle going on. It's really quite interesting. And so the idea is to stop that, and I'll continue on. And this was written 18 months ago, and I say, over the last 20 months or so, I've awkwardly navigated my way through this painful journey, and I've made a few distinctions along the way that have really helped me out. So if you have or do struggle with anything similar to what I've explained, then I hope these few points help you too. 1. Firstly, don't feel bad about wanting people's approval. It is often more common than we think. 2. Being single is completely okay and sometimes really necessary. 3. Being in a relationship because you don't want to be alone is not okay. 4. There is no timeline. You are not meant to be, do, or have anything by now. It will happen when you're ready. 5. Learn to take care of yourself first. If you don't, there'll come a point where you will have to, and you will let everyone else down who are relying on you. 6. Wanting people to like you is often subconscious and completely out of your control. I'm just going to stop that there. I would say it's unconscious and it was a learnt thing, but you didn't unlearn it, so to speak. The reality is that wanting people to like us is often a way of integrating into a community or into a larger group of people, hence the village, so to speak, the tribe. The thing is that was a taught thing. It just meant that we're safe. And then as adults, we should know inherently that we're safe. And then if we're still trying to search this, it's just there's probably a development there that hasn't been tied off. And so it's worth coaching to that and finding out more about that. The thing is saying completely out of your control, I probably don't agree with now. I think it is in your control. It just takes work and it takes a bit of guidance, and that's where the work is. Moving on. 7. Learn to set boundaries. When you say yes to someone else, you are often saying no to you. 8. Self-love has a lot to do with teaching others how to treat you. 9. Having a small circle doesn't make you an asshole. It is often called quality control. 10. Sell heaps of shit in your house that you don't need. It is often a literal symbol for the baggage you are carrying emotionally. 11. Read so-called self-help books. It is actually no one else's job to help you. 12. You are not broken, and there is nothing outside of yourself that will ever fix you. 13. There is no such thing as a lack of resources, just a lack of resourcefulness. 14. If you want something in your life, then you need to learn not to need it. Let me say that again. If you want something in your life, then you need to learn not to need it. 15. Your life. Limit your time on social media. It is literally junk food for your mind. 16. Do some form of mood prep. How about that? I wrote that 18 months ago. Do some form of mood prep, meditation, exercise, or reading in the morning before answering emails or social media. 17. Always do something for yourself first thing in the AM, the morning that is. Put your oxygen mask on first. 18. Live life by your rules. Too many of us live life by some made-up rules we once heard someone else say. So let me say that again. Live life by your rules. Too many of us live life by some made-up rules we once heard someone else say. 19. Don't ever be afraid to speak up. Be afraid not to. 20. Don't ever be afraid to tell someone to fuck off. That's worthy. 21. Be prepared to apologize. You are often wrong. So like I have been in here, so I'm sorry for that. 22. The truth always comes out and character never lies. 23. I'll be happy when is the true enemy of happiness. 24. Loving with an expectation of return is not love. That is called transactional love. Avoid this at all costs. 25. It is important to order yourself when things are bad. 26. It is more important to order yourself when things are good. 27. You're never as bad as you say you are. You're never as bad as they say you are. 28. You are never as good as they say you are. 29. The more difficult conversations you have, the less difficult conversations you have. 30. You are currently living the good old days. 31. Stop saying shit to yourself that makes you weak. 32. How you talk to yourself matters more than you think, which is a thought. 33. Stop doing shit you hate for people you don't like. Fuck, I'm going to leave that one with you. I'm going to say it again as well. Stop doing shit you hate for people you don't like. It may even be worth stop doing shit you hate for people you like. I'll leave that one with you. There's conditions to it. 34. What is done in the dark will be brought to the light. Yeah, Johnny Cash there for you, but sit with that one. 35. We often suffer more in imagination than in reality. 36. You can't run away, gym away, or eat away your pain. 37. You have to learn to understand it to heal it. And I go on to say, I once heard a story about a guy who lost his watch and his neighbour was helping him look for it in the front garden. After about an hour or so, the neighbour asked the owner of the watch where he last had it. The owner said he last had it inside. If you lost your watch inside, then why are you looking for it outside? Think about that. If you lost it inside, why are you looking outside for it? It always feels a bit funny sharing these things. I guess it is to help let people know that if you are having these realizations, don't think you're late to the table. Some people don't even know dinner was on. So, team, I was going to share more thoughts on that, but I'm going to leave it there because that's 10 minutes. I hope you got something out of this podcast. If you did, it would mean the world that you jump on Facebook and go to Mood Prep Online and share your thoughts and ideas with it. Otherwise, if you would share it with a friend that you think would also benefit from hearing it. I'm probably going to continue on this conversation tomorrow, I dare say. I think there's more to pull apart from this. And that took longer than I actually anticipated, but it was good to read over it for the first time in 18 months as well. But, team, on that note, I'm out. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you haven't already, I've already said it. Jump on Mood Prep Online. I'm out. Team, I'm done. Until tomorrow, peace and pizza. Kick today in the dick. Slay the dragon. I'll see you soon.